Dirt bikes can be expensive to maintain, but it all depends on how well you take care of your bike. If you perform regular maintenance and repairs, your dirt bike will last longer and run better. In this video, we'll discuss some of the costs associated with dirt bike maintenance, and we'll provide some tips to help you keep your expenses down. Are dirt bikes high maintenance? Dirt bikes are both high maintenance and low maintenance, depending on your situation. If you're a skilled mechanic who knows how to overhaul an engine or rebuild a bike's transmission, then dirt bikes are low maintenance. You can probably fix 90% of what goes wrong with your bike yourself. However, if you're not very experienced wrenching on motorcycles, dirt bikes might be high maintenance for you. They're not as simple to work on as a typical street bike, and they require a lot more messy maintenance procedures. Additionally, whether a dirt bike is a high maintenance or not also depends on how hard you ride your bike. If you take it out for a couple of hours each weekend, then there's very little that will break. However, if you ride every day, chances are your parts will wear out more quickly, specifically the suspension components. Your rear shock absorber might need to be replaced every few months if you ride frequently, especially for motocross. What needs maintenance on a dirt bike? There are things on your dirt bike that needs proper care and maintenance, and if you don't take care of them, eventually they'll need to be replaced. Tires, parts, riding gear, fuel, oil, and lubrication, insurance. Now let's break down each of these and explain the importance of giving each of them proper service. Tires. Dirt bike tires go under constant abuse. Not only are they constantly moving, but they're also exposed to dirt, debris, rocks, logs, and many other hazards on the trail. Tires need proper care, tread depth, inflation pressure, and you'll need to replace them every once in a while, especially if you own an older bike. If you don't keep your tires maintained, you risk getting a flat while riding, and the ride will be much more dangerous. If you're planning of using your dirt bike often, it is safe to say that you should change your dirt bike tires at least 3 times a year. This will cost you anywhere between $400 to $600. I prefer to change both of them at the same time because it decreases the need for me to carry a second spare tire. Dirt bike tires have a habit of losing little chunks of tread before you know it, so inspect your tires often and replace them when they get too low. Parts. Most parts on a dirt bike should last quite a long time if they receive proper lubrication and maintenance, especially if you use quality synthetic oil. However, there are some components that will wear out over time. Oil filter, air filter, spark plugs, chain sprockets. The sprocket wears down over time, and the chain stretches. If you don't replace these parts often enough, your engine won't run smoothly. The same is true for the brake pads on a dirt bike. They will wear out over time. You can always try to fix them, but the minimum you should do is have a professional give it a once-over to see if they can be filed or sanded down. Although there is no exact price for all of them because it depends quite heavily on the bike you own. For instance, if you have a dirt bike with an oil-injected engine, your maintenance costs will be lower than someone who has a carbureted engine. It's about $400 to $500 to replace all of them in a year, according to me and my experience. It may be different for you because you may have a different dirt bike from mine. Riding gear. When I talk about riding gear, I am referring to your helmet, goggles, boots, pants, overalls, shirts, jerseys, gloves, and some other odds and ends like elbow knee pads. If you're interested in motocross or supercross racing, all of these items are important because they'll protect your body on the track. However, if you're an off-road rider, many of these protections aren't needed. If you're just riding on trails and simple obstacles, you don't need gloves or an undersuit. The price for all this stuff depends on where you shop and your preferences. I'm sure if you go to Amazon or get a dirt bike outfit from Walmart, it'll be much cheaper than if you buy one from a store. Overall, it'll probably be around $400 to $500 for all of these things in my opinion.
Fuel, oil, and lubrication.
Fuel and oil are the lifeblood of your dirt bike. Without it, you won't be able to ride like a champion. You should check your oil level, clean your air filter, and replace parts of the oil frequently. This will ensure that the dirt bike has top performance capacity. In general, you should replace the oil in your dirt bike every 500 miles. This might be a little more or less depending on how often you ride it, and if it's a 2-stroke engine or 4-stroke engine. If you use synthetic oil, this could extend your mileage by 100 to 200 miles. Insurance.
Dirt biking is inherently dangerous, so it's important to have good insurance coverage on your dirt bike. Not only are there people who are injured by dirt bikes every year, but insurance costs also increase because of this. It's important to know that if you're injured on your bike and did not have proper coverage, it could be considered a crime. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have some sort of motorcycle insurance for dirt bikes. So the rough estimate of how much you might spend on insurance is about $900 a year. My final thoughts. Dirt bikes are expensive to maintain only if you neglect them.
Do not take care of what is needed to maintain them.
If you take care of these things in the correct manner, then they are actually easy and cheap to maintain. So next time you want to buy a dirt bike, think wisely about which one would suit your needs off-road rider or racer, and then make a decision. If you do that, you will easily save $1, triple zeros in the future.